Well, May's been absolutely stacked with game releases, so much so I had to make a whole second video just to cover the overflow and account for the rescheduling and delays of all the other games that were meant to come out this month. And to top it all off, I've been sinking way too much time into Yes Your Grace Snowfall, so much so, I barely had any time to even write this script, let alone edit the video, but I managed somehow. And without further ado, here are 7 more awesome games coming out this May. Coming in at number 1 is a game that's finally getting an English localization, along with a fresh remaster, and that's Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered. Now, as someone who's never actually played a Gundam game before, but does have some familiarity with the anime and a general understanding of JRPGs and mecha games, I'm seriously considering using this one as my entry point. Only time will tell if that's a great idea, or if the comment section is gonna roast me for it. We'll wait and see. In Battle Destiny Remastered, you'll relive iconic moments from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed and Seed Destiny, choosing your faction from the Earth Alliance, Zaft, or the Archangel. There are over 100 mobile suits to unlock, all newly enhanced, with high-res textures and updated gameplay systems, like revamped tuning, a reworked save system, and an improved lock-on controls. So whether you're customizing your mech to match your playstyle, or just smashing through legendary battles, this looks like a solid upgrade from the original 2012 release, and a great excuse to finally jump into the Gundam universe. Either way, if flying giant mechs and saving planets sounds like your thing, this might be worth checking out when it drops on May the 22nd for PC and Nintendo Switch. Next on my list is a title belonging to a genre of game that I normally steer clear of, as it holds very little appeal to me normally, and that is the racing game JDM Japanese Drift Master. Now, if I had to sum up how this game makes me feel, think Need for Speed Underground 2 with modern HD graphics, set in a beautifully stylized version of Japan, backed by some seriously vibey background music. In it, you'll play as Toma, a young Polish drifter trying to restart his life and climb the ranks of Japan's underground racing scene. The game takes place in a fictional prefecture called Gundam, inspired by real locations from across the country. And let's be honest, it shows. Every road, mountain pass, and city street feels authentic. And that's probably because the devs themselves actually use Google Earth, real photos, and feedback from locals to craft this very setting. And that level of dedication ensures that it really nails the vibe, down to the tight road widths and layout of the towns. Now for the gameplay, driving is built on a simcade system, meaning it'll be easy to pick up for the layman, but it will also have realistic physics and deep tuning options for the gearheads out there who want to tweak every little thing. You'll be racing in officially licensed cars from icons like Nissan, Subaru and Mazda, with tons of visual and performance upgrades to make your ride truly yours. And there's a ton of personality in the story too, with manga-style storytelling, used to tell Toma's journey through hand-drawn panels, and even genre-themed radio stations to match the mood as you cruise. On top of that, the game boasts an incredibly detailed audio engine captured from real recordings, so you'll be able to hear every rev, whir, and turbo spool as if you were sitting behind the wheel yourself. So if this sounds like your kind of game, consider picking up a copy when it drops on May the 22nd for PC. And if you can't wait, there is a free demo on Steam that also serves as a prologue to the full story. Moving on to number 3, we've got Blades of Fire, an action RPG that channels the tactical combat and companion-driven storytelling that we've come to love from the modern God of War remakes. In this title, you'll play as Aaron Delira, heir to the King's Ward, who's thrust into a crumbling realm teetering on the edge of war. As you search for the truth behind your lineage, you'll unravel ancient secrets, navigate shifting alliances, and decide the fate of a kingdom caught in the grip of prophecy. By your side is Adzo, your loyal companion, who not only fights with you, but also deciphers the lost language of the Forgers, helping you unlock the world's deeper mysteries. As for the combat, what can I say, it's tight, weighty and tactical. Less button mashing, more brain usage. You'll forge weapons from 7 different weapons families, make use of over 30 forge scrolls to tweak things like weight, reach and damage type, Targeting specific enemy body parts is key to breaking through armor and defenses, and with over 50 unique foes to face, you'll be switching up tactics and weapons constantly. So with its blend of deep lore, strategic combat, and a companion who actually matters to both gameplay and story, Blades of Fire is shaping up to be a standout game. So if you're after a gritty, story-rich RPG with a unique edge, consider grabbing a copy when it drops on May the 22nd for Xbox, PlayStation, and on the Epic Games Store for PC. Next on the list is a remake of another PlayStation 2 classic, and that's Onimusha 2: Samurai's Destiny. Now, I'll be honest, I still need to finish the remaster of the first Onimusha that dropped a few years back, but with a brand new entry in the franchise apparently coming sometime next year, I figured it's probably time I catch up. In Samurai's Destiny, you play as Jubei Yagyu, a stoic swordsman on a quest for vengeance after his hometown is wiped out by demons. It's a classic setup, but has that unique Sengoku period meets demonic horror vibe that only Onimusha can deliver. As for the gameplay and story, well, this one picks up where Onimusha Warlords left off, but adds more complexity, not just in the story, but in gameplay too. Unlike the first game, you'll meet and interact with multiple characters, whose relationships with Jubei change depending on your choices. Some might aid you in combat, others might withhold useful items. It's a subtle system, but it adds an intriguing layer of replayability. And as for the combat, it's still that classic blend of swordplay and magic-infused attacks, but it feels a little snappier this time around. The closest thing I can compare it to is an old-school Ninja Gaiden vibe from the Xbox days, you know? Fast, fluid, and just a bit punishing if you get careless. And yes, the instant kill Issen parry system is still here, letting you chain flashy one-hit kills if you time your counters perfectly. This 2025 remake brings with it updated visuals, improved controls, better camera angles, and a fully re-recorded voice cast to breathe new life into the game's emotional beats. It also supports modern resolutions and aspect ratios, so no more stretching that PS2 screen across your 4K TV. And if you've happened to play the Onimusha Warlords remaster and still have your save file kicking around, you'll have access to unlock a special Samanosuke outfit for Jubei as a bonus, because who doesn't want to slice through demons wearing that? So if you're ready to continue this demonic samurai saga, or if like me, you just want to see what all that PS2 era hype was about, consider grabbing Onimusha 2: Samurai's Destiny when it drops on May 23rd for PC, PlayStation, Xbox and Nintendo Switch. Coming in at number 5 and releasing on Nintendo Switch is more of an honourable mention than anything, and that's Ys Memoire: The Sea of Trees of Celceta. Now, the reason it's only getting an honourable mention is because as of right now, I can't find a trailer for it, and secondly, because it's only being released in Japan. And at this stage, there's no news yet on if or when a Western port will happen, plus it's unclear if the Japanese version will have English subtitles baked into the settings or not. So unless you're ready to bust out Google Translate for the entire game, or you can read kanji really well, just know this one might be a bit of a challenge to fully enjoy. But as for the game itself, it's a polished remake of the original Ys Memories of Celceta, likely featuring upgrades similar to Ys Memoire: Oath in Felghana. Think updated visuals, quality of life improvements, reorchestrated music, and maybe even a few new gameplay tweaks. Story-wise, it follows series hero Adol as he wakes up in a mysterious land with no memories, and must explore the vast forest of Celceta to recover his past and unravel the mysteries surrounding it. Now, whilst we won't be getting our hands on an English version right away, I feel the need to mention it as there is hope, because Ys Memoire: Oath in Felghana took about a year or two after its Japanese release to get ported over to the West, so fingers crossed we see a similar timeline here. But given that I'll be in Japan around the time of its release, I may just pick up a physical copy while I'm there, because why not? I'm on a holiday. Poor spending's bound to happen. And next on our list is the sci-fi roguelike third-person shooter Scarlet Salvation. In it, you'll play as Willow Martin, a soldier who wakes up in a deserted military facility with no memory of how she got there. The only thing she's got is an AI voice whispering in her ear. and deadly robotic enemies that lurk around every corner. Can you fight your way out, uncover Willow's Pass, and break the endless cycle? Well, that's the aim of the game, and the way it works is the game features procedurally generated levels, ensuring no two runs are the same. Combat is intense, with a variety of weapons, status effects, and power ups at your disposal. Precision dodging and parrying build up your exo force, allowing you to unleash onslaught mode for temporary invincibility. So, if you're into challenging roguelike shooters with a compelling mystery and story, then Scarlet Salvation might be your next adventure and will be available on the 29th of May for PC and PlayStation. And finally, last but not least, capping out this list at number 7 is the final chapter in an epic JRPG trilogy, and that is Fuga Melodies of Steel 3. Now personally, I've never played an entry in this franchise. Why? I don't really know. Chalk it up to being stranded on the island that is Australia, and living under a rock when the first game released back in July of 2021. But from what I have gathered, this series is something special. It's a tactical JRPG that follows a group of children who commandeer a massive walking tank called the Tyrannus in order to survive a brutal war. The catch here though is their most powerful weapon is called the Soul Cannon, a weapon that can wipe out any enemy instantly, but only by sacrificing one of the kids on board. So yeah, there's kind of a lot of emotional damage in this, and the game isn't afraid to hit you with it, so if that ain't your cup of tea, turn back now. As for the combat itself, it plays out in a turn-based strategy style. You assign kids to different stations within the Tyrannus, gunners, defenders, support, you know the drill, and each of the kids will have their own unique abilities, so you will need to think carefully about team placement and composition in order to get through each battle efficiently. During the downtime you'll have between fights, you'll be able to explore the inside of the Tyrannus, chat with the crew, and raise their bond or friendship levels through various interactions like light farming, crafting, decision making. So in reality this game is part war story, part life sim, and yes, mainly trauma factory. Fuga Melodies of Steel 3 wraps up the trilogy with an all new threat and storyline, promising multiple endings, high stakes choices, and the conclusion of the characters' emotional story arcs. So if this sounds like your kind of game, whether this is your first time hearing about the franchise, or you simply forgot it existed altogether, you can grab a copy of the thrilling conclusion to this series when it releases on May the 29th, PlayStation, PC, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. And that concludes my list of 7 more awesome games releasing this May, according to me anyway. So, if you made it this far into the video, I hope it helped you lock onto a title or two, and if it didn't, consider checking out the other video I did covering 10 games that dropped earlier this month. Let me know in the comments which game you're most excited for, and as always, if you enjoyed this month's rundown and the bonus one, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss next month's list, or any of the other gaming goodness in between. Thanks for watching, and happy gaming. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now.